Hey everybody, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year to you, Happy 2023. My name is Tom, I'm the Possibilities Coach with Endless Possibilities Coaching and Speaking. Want to wish you a very happy New Year's, happy 2023. And I don't know if you noticed, but you guessed it, this video is exactly like the one, not exactly like the one, but basically the same one that I did this morning. I'm kind of new at some of this technology video stuff, so I'm just kind of jumping in with both feet. The one I did this morning, I'm not even sure what's going on with it. I'm having trouble working with it, so I figured I'm going to do it a different way, so I'm doing it a different way. So it's the same video in essence, but just going about it a different manner. I'm not doing the live stream. I'm doing the video, then I'm upload it to YouTube. So that's the plan. So before we get started, I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to click the like button. I want you to comment on this video. I want you to share this video. Yeah, share this video because everybody needs to know the good stuff that I'm putting in here. Yeah, good stuff. That's nice. Yeah, so we are going to talk about goals, and of course, it is New Year's. The New Year's year's just started, and people talk about New Year's resolutions, which is in essence, it's a goal. And goals are something you should be working on all year round. And goals are something that I work on. They can be challenging, they can be tough to stick to, but they can really be productive if you really get a good system and really start working them. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you about goals a little bit. I was in prison recently, and maybe I should preface that. So when I first started training as a life coach about 12 or 13 years ago now. So one of the things I thought would be really cool is, hey, what if I started working with people who are in prison or had just gotten out of prison? What a great place to work with and talk about goals, people who've recently been in prison. And I got a lot of discouragement from that. People were like, you don't want to talk to those people. You don't want to know those people. You don't want those people knowing who you are. Stay away from those people. So it kind of didn't really go that way, but things come full circle in life. And sure enough, within a few years, I found myself volunteering in prison. I was volunteering in prison for an organization. I was spending between 100 and 300 hours per year in prison working with men on nonviolent conflict resolution. So I was bringing some of my coaching skills to that. And I also have a job now too, where I'm also going into prisons and talking about 3 or 4 times a year. And that was what I was doing about. It's been about that hasn't been a month. It's been a few weeks now. So I found myself in prison. Had to do a little bit of a presentation. And before we do that, though, I want to talk about one thing. I use a lot of quotes. I quote a lot of people. So I quote. I quote Earl Nightingale, I quote Brian Tracy, I quote Jim Rohn, I quote Tony Robbins, I quote Zig Ziglar, and I quote others. So here's the thing. I don't always attribute the quote to the right person, so sometimes I get that mixed up, and I don't always get the quote exactly correct. So there could be, when I quote somebody, I try to give them credit, try to acknowledge who they are, but the quote might not be exactly right, and the person might not be the exact person who said it. So I apologize up front. That's my little foible, but I want to make sure you get the information, because that's the important thing, is you get the essence of what the quote is. So I was in prison recently. I had a presentation. I had some free time at the end, and I thought, what do I want to do in the free time? Well, I love talking about goals, and Jim Rohn is huge on goals and goal setting. So I said, let's talk about goals. So one of the first things I asked them is, what is a goal? Not tell me not tell me one of your goals, but what is a goal? So I want you to think about that. What is a goal? What does that mean to have a goal? What is a goal? I don't want an example of a goal. I want, what is a goal? So I want you to stop this video right now, grab a pen and paper or pencil and paper, and write down what you think a goal is. Don't look it up on the dictionary. You got an incredible mind up there. Use that incredible mind of yours. Write down what you think a goal is, and then when you got your definition written down, start the video again. We'll come back. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But right now, I want you to stop that video, grab a pen and paper, and write down what a goal is. Stop the video right now. Stop it! Okay, we back. Did you stop the video or did you cheat? I hope you didn't cheat. You better not have cheated. Well, if you cheated, there's nothing I can do about it, and I'll never know. But hopefully you wrote down what a goal is. So I asked the prisoners, what do you think a goal is? And some of them did give me examples. Oh, this is a goal, which is true, that those are goals. But what is a goal? And one guy got pretty close. He's like, well, a goal is something you want to get to. It's something you want to achieve. It might be something you want to do soon. It might take a little bit longer. So he was kind of getting some of the aspects of a goal. He was kind of really focusing in there. He kind of got it. It was something you want to achieve, something you want to work towards, something that you're trying to do. So and I think it was Brian Tracy. He said success is goals. It's not goals, it's success, but success is goals. So basically what he was saying is, if you've got goals, if you've got something you're trying to achieve in life, something you're trying to accomplish, just by that definition alone, you are a success. You are a success by that definition alone. And I think it was Earl Nightingale, in his recording The Strangest Secret, he says success is the gradual realization of a worthy ideal. The gradual realization of a worthy ideal or a goal. So he's saying the same thing. Success is goals. You've got goals. You're working toward those goals. You're automatically a success. If you've got goals and you're working toward them, you're automatically a success. And in that same recording, I think it's the same recording by Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, he uses the analogy of you take a ship, remove the captain, remove the crew, take all the people off it, and start up the ship and just let it go. What's going to happen to that ship? Well, it'll be lucky if the ship gets out of the harbor. If it does, you're going to find it just adrift somewhere in the ocean or a wreck on some shore somewhere. That's if it even gets out of the harbor. It may not get out of the harbor. It may just kind of bounce around and bang into things in the harbor. It may run ashore there. So it's not going to get anywhere because it's got no goal. It's got no destination. So what he said, but if you put a captain on that ship, put a crew on that ship, he says 9,999 times out of 10,000, that ship is going to get exactly where it's supposed to go. It's going to get exactly where it's meant to go. 9,999 times out of 10,000, that ship will get to its destination. It will reach its goal because it's got a captain and a crew to plan it out, to work it out, to make that goal a reality. So that's the difference. So really, a goal is something you want to achieve or something you want to accomplish. Something you want to achieve and something you want to accomplish. So that's what a goal is. So that's what a goal is. So now the question becomes, see, I'm going to have you stop the video again. Now the question becomes, how do you set a goal? How do you set a goal? So I hope you still got your pen and paper handy because I'm going to have you stop the video and write this down. But how do you set a goal? So I want you to stop the video right now, give you however long it takes you to write down how do you set a goal, and then come back. I'll talk about it when I come back. But stop the video, write it down. Stop the video now. Stop it! Okay, very good. Did you stop the video and come back? I hope you stopped the video and came back. Hope you didn't cheat. So how do you set a goal? Jim Rohn talks about this. And see how I get my quotes mixed up? I know this is Jim Rohn. This I know is Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says there's 2 steps to setting a goal. And Tony Robbins adds in a third, and I'll talk about that too. But Jim Rohn really says there's 2 steps to a goal. Because he talks about 2. Goals are very easy to set, and they're very difficult to work on. They're easy and they're difficult. So there's 2 steps to setting a goal. Number 1, decide what you want. Decide what you want. Decide, and it sounds easy. Decide what you want. Decide what you want. And then step number 2 is write it down. Write it down. Write it down. You got to decide what you want, and then 2, write it down. I don't know about you, but I know for me myself, there's been a lot of times in my life where I go, "Oh wow, I really want to do X or accomplish X or do this thing. I really want it so bad. I'm not gonna forget it." Da, 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 da. And I get distracted by something. My mind goes somewhere else. Something comes up, and I find myself 5, 6 months later, maybe a year or 2 later, and go, "Wow, I really wanted that thing back there. Whatever happened to that? I totally forgot it." You know, because I didn't write it down. Write it down. Write it down. You got to make the goal and write it down. Decide what you want and write it down. And here's the Tony Robbins quote. And I might hack the quote a little bit, but you get the essence here. Tony Robbins says, you have to put a date on it. You have to put a due date on it. He says, because a goal without a due date is like a wish without any hope of trying to fulfill it. It's like a wish without any hope of trying to fulfill it, unless you put a date on it. So you got to put a date on it. So decide what you want, write it down, put a date on it. So this is part 1. I'll have another video on what you do next, because this is just part of it. There's a lot more to it, but this is just the starting part. So this is part 1. Decide what you want, write it down, put a date on it. I'll be back in a few more days to talk to you about part 2 of goals and goal setting. But until then, have a great day. Have a fantastic week. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I'll see you in a few days, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I am out of here. Bye-bye.